All good. You're right, Councillor Donaldson. We'll start again. You can hear us and everything. Good show. Thank you. Okay, very good. Well, welcome back, councillors and staff and gallery. Thank you very much for joining us again. So where we're up to now is item 12.2.2, Operational Plan 2025-26, Quarter 3 Performance Report. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Newman, and a seconder, Councillor Burns. Thank you. Very good. Thank you very much to our directors. So what we'll do today is hand over to each of the directors to speak to their directorate or department section of the Operational Plan 2025-26 Quarter 3 Performance Report. So handing over directly now to our Director of Operations, Jason Houlihan. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So Quarter 3 saw a heavy focus on responding to weather events across the Central Highlands for the Infrastructure and Utilities Directorate. During Quarter 3, our local disaster coordination centre was activated for the weather events of Tropical Cyclone Koji and the Tropical Low 29U. During this time, our local disaster management group met and operated over 24-hour roster to ensure community safety, resulting in the council activating our emergency warning sirens in Sapphire in the early hours of the 9th of March as a measure to inform the community of the immediate risk from rising water in Retreat Creek. Throughout the duration of the weather event, our emergency management dashboard and flood cameras experienced a little over 258,000 views, proving the benefits of council's previous investment in these assets. In the water and wastewater section, a little over 1.5 million kilolitres of treated water was supplied to our communities across the region, and 570,000 kilolitres of wastewater also treated. The favourable rain from a water security perspective saw us filling a number of off-stream storage dams, including Rolleston and Capella, ensuring the ongoing water security across the region. During Quarter 3, the infrastructure section also responded to the weather events with 112 roads scoped and repairs initiated after ex-tropical cyclone Koji event in January, and 174 roads scoped and repairs initiated after the 29U flood event in March. The wet weather also saw the seasonal increase in vegetation management with 219 requests through our CRM system. These range from mowing, weed management and tree control. Of these 219, 164 were completed and closed out, with the remainder scheduled for completion or requiring further resourcing considerations. The Parks and Open Spaces team also initiated a project to transform the existing garden bed adjacent to the Anzac Memorial here in Emerald. From a fleet perspective, 20 fleet items were ordered, including 2 new street sweepers which have arrived, a significant amount of new light vehicles, loaders for both our quarry operations and waste management operations, the inclusion of electronic message boards within our fleet, and the ordering of 1 new grader. I'll hand over to our Director of Communities.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Director of Operations. So we'd also like to acknowledge that the weather event did impact our day-to-day service delivery. However, the team tried to minimise that as much to our community as possible. And as a result, I'd just like to share some of the core highlights that the team managed to achieve during the third quarter. So facilities and recreation, they managed to close out 70 facility customer requests. So that's facilities such as our halls and other buildings that council operate and own on behalf of the community. We also managed to finalise 75 facility works requests as well in Q3 and complete the market sounding for the aquatic centres to inform the upcoming tenders for Emerald, Blackwater, Rollston and Sapphire. The sale yards were completed capital works projects which saw that there was improvement in our ramps, loading ramps, with new inward opening ramp gates installed. Pneumatic draft was installed as well as the scale house was refurbished with the asbestos removed, providing a better environment for a major asset within that facility. The biosecurity plan was refreshed and submitted to do the DPI for review, and the standstill exercise will take place in Q4. The airport, there was over 50,000 passengers processed through the terminal, commercial passengers processed through the terminal in Q3, and 10.5% increase in flight landings, with 336 Qantas landings and 174 Medivac flights. And with regards to that, Council was successful with the Resource Community Infrastructure Fund to the tune of $6 million to partner with RFDS and the Rotary Club of Emerald for the Medivac transfer facility that is being built at the airport. With the $6 million, that's the airside infrastructure. RFDS are taking care of the patient transfer pod itself, and incredibly over the last 5 years Rotary Emerald have raised over $1.4 million from the community to build the facility in which the planes can navigate in and out in an all-weather environment to transfer the patients. So that project is progressing on schedule from at this point in time, so that's a great achievement from the community as well as on behalf of the airport staff. With regards to resource recovery, the Lockley's alternate site feasibility study was completed and it's informing our long-term landfill planning. Planning and land management, 21 development applications were received and 10 determined, so that's on the back of our economic stimulus decisions made by Council today. So it does demonstrate a strong development interest in the region. Between the 23rd of February and the 10th of April, Council issued 1,670 individual letters, and they were to ratepayers and landholders in relation to the planning instrument change for Blackwater and Blackwater East priority development areas. So that is progressing with council officers now receiving all those submissions. They'll make an assessment and then provide that information back to council. Arts, culture and regional engagement. Excitingly, over 26,000 people visited our libraries across the region. Our libraries provide an incredible face-to-face service for our community, from First Five Forever to being able to take a book out and loan a book, or read a book in the privacy of the library, or even just interact with the wider world through the internet service that the library provides. So many social interactions that can occur at the libraries, and we've all got great memories of visiting our libraries, not only by ourselves but with our children. So those services continue to be provided to the community, and there's over 1,000 children attended the First Five Forever programs. So there's lots happening in our community sector. I just wanted to take the opportunity to acknowledge the day-to-day achievements and activities that our community team deliver for our community with the passion and commitment which they undertake their day-to-day duties. And with that, I hand over to Rhys Dennison, Director of Corporate Services.
Thank you, Director of Communities. Councillors, through the Chair, I often say that the Corporate Services Directorate is slightly more interesting than it sounds, and it truly is. It is so much more than back-of-house staff. The teams that make up corporate services are making huge positive impacts for our community every day, so I'm going to give you some examples of that work for each of the teams now. So let's start with the procurement and legal team. So page 218 of your agendas, councillors. One of the most comprehensive contract management frameworks that I am aware of has been created and implemented by our team. Now, why is that important? Well, we need to buy goods and services to provide essential services to our community. So it's essential that our communities get great value for money. So that contract management framework is ensuring we can be nimble and procure strategically. We better ensure that we get the best prices. We monitor contracts to make sure that we get the best outcomes for our community. And if we're not, we're enforcing those contracts. Our staff have done all of this work internally themselves, rolled it out and trained the organisation to best ensure that value for our communities. And we'll continue to be reporting on the benefits of that framework as it rolls out. The ICT team now, councillors, have been doing some great work as always, modernising our work practices to ensure that our services are developed and delivered as efficiently and effectively as possible for community. So we've been automating how we manage information. We are building training programs to equip our staff to better use the AI productivity tools that we have at our disposal. And the cybersecurity measures that have been taken, so you'll see those on page 222 and 240 of the agenda, the cybersecurity measures that have been taken to protect one of our community's greatest assets, that's their personal information, are truly second to none. Okay? Turn now to the safety team, page 239 of the agenda. Not only is the safety team delivering critical projects such as confined space review, fire safety planning and health monitoring, they're delivering amazing results. So you'll see there, significantly reducing the amount of injuries that are resulting in workers' compensation claims. That's just one example. Our staff, of course, play key roles for our community. It is paramount that we keep them safe, and the safety team continue to do that day in, day out. Turning now to the finance team, councillors, page 240 of the agenda. They have been very busy ensuring equity and fairness for our ratepayers this quarter. A statutory sale of land process for rates arrears has been kicked off. A review of council's utility charging, which is informing the 26-27 budget, has been kicked off, and a significant amount of work is going on behind the scenes, as you're aware, for the 26-27 budget to really ensure that it delivers for community. The governance team on that page as well, the organisation's quiet achievers, have been doing some critical work behind the scenes in response to fuel disruption. Ensuring that council's essential services continue to operate for communities is just one of the risk and assurance functions that our governance team provides. And the work they've done across the organisation to quickly embed a response on top of everything else they do has truly been a privilege for me to witness. Penultimately, communications and customer service. Some of those stats on page 232 are truly remarkable, I think, in terms of how much this team delivers for community. So over 1 million social media engagements this quarter, over 10,000 inquiries, actions and received, over 1,000 new social media followers, over 600 Snap Send Solve requests processed, over 100 social media posts, and there's a media release going out almost every 2 business days. We have heard our community say time again that we need to communicate more, and those stats are really showing that we are. Last but not least, some real standout stats for this quarter come from our HR team. Now, this team is doing so much to help this organisation attract and retain quality staff who serve our communities, not just via those big projects that you see on page 224 and 225 of the agenda, but via the work they do across this organisation every day. Okay? They facilitated realignments, relocations, recruitment, leadership training, staff upskilling, employee surveys, leadership roadshows, lots of initiatives that make this such a great place to work. And the evidence shows it's paying off. This time last year, year to date, we had a 30% staff turnover, okay? Around 25% of that was voluntary. 25% of people voluntarily choosing to leave this organisation. This year, our year-to-date voluntary turnover is currently sitting at 12%, and it's getting better every quarter this year. 5%, 4%, 3%. This time last year, we had a voluntary turnover rate of 10% in this quarter alone, okay? And when we asked our staff why is that? The feedback was consistent. Organisational leadership was unstable. Our people do not thrive in instability. Now that we have stable foundations, huge progress can be made via those initiatives that I've just mentioned, okay? And we're seeing those positive results that I've just mentioned too. We need great staff to be able to deliver great community outcomes. We cannot deliver anything without great staff, okay? It has certainly been difficult to deliver anything positive in years gone by when we've had volatility in leadership and turnover. But things are much improved now. We have great people, we have great stability. We've delivered great outcomes this quarter, and I think if things keep tracking the way they are, then I sense there's even greater things to come. Thank you, Chair.
Fabulous. Thank you very, very much. It's a shame we have to wait 3 months, every 3 months, to hear these great reports as well. So thank you very much. Congratulations to yourselves and all staff for the excellent summary. Thank you. And for the achievements that have been fostered over the past 3 months. So it's great to hear. So very positive for contribution by council to the livability of our region as well. So thank you very, very much. I think I started talking before I handed back over to our mover, Councillor Newman, for first remarks.
Through the chair, thank you very much. All directors for that very comprehensive reporting of the operational plan. As we know, the operational plan is one of the most important strategic documents for the organisation. It's pleasing to see so much happening across the organisation, and I welcome the reports from the directors who were able to state the many staff members that work across the 3 departments to make this region a better place. So thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much. Councillors, is there anything else you would like to add? There? Nothing, Councillor Donaldson? You're good there? Very good. Thank you very much. So we've had a mover and seconder. I'll just read out the recommendation that the Central Highlands Regional Council receives the Central Highlands Regional Council Operational Plan 2025-26 Quarter 3 Performance Report pursuant to Section 1743 of the Local Government Regulation 2012 Queensland. And now, as we do, we have our mover and seconder. All those in favour? Thank you very much. Thank you. Unanimous, so motion carried. Thank you very much. Moving on now to section 12.3, operations. So item number 12.3.1, endorsement of Local Resilience Action Plan, RLAP, RAP. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Whiteman, and seconder, Councillor Wilkins. Thank you very much. Handing over to Jason Houlihan, Director Operations. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. A Local Resilience Action Plan is a strategic tool that captures and prioritises resilience building projects based on local needs, aligns them with the broader strategies, and provides a pathway to seek and secure resilience funding. The Queensland Reconstruction Authority, which works together with Council, has redesigned the LRAP, or Local Resilience Action Plan, which I'll refer to as LRAP moving forward, to improve consistencies across local government planning, strengthen strategic alignment with state and federal resilience funding programs, and ensure resilience actions are informed by local risks, priorities and community needs. So councils had the opportunity to update their LRAP and submit to the Queensland Reconstruction Authority by the period of July 2026, which is what we've been working towards. So council held a workshop on the 29th of January to brief councillors on the current LRAP and seek feedback on whether the existing projects list should be expanded or shortlisted. Since then, we've been working with officers and our emergency management section of council to determine a list of prioritised projects, which you'll see in the attachment. And council has a list of 23 identified priority projects, which we would include in our LRAP or seeking endorsement for our LRAP, to be submitted to the Queensland Reconstruction Authority to help them to facilitate seeking funding through either the state or federal government on our behalf. The list of projects include projects such as emergency motherboard managed signage to assist emergency services to locate properties on our rural road network, biosecurity measures such as additional washdown facilities, fire mitigation projects such as improvements to the Buckland airstrip for fire mitigation, additional flood modelling of our regional communities and urban communities, road network improvements, and a number of other bushfire and flood mitigation projects as listed in the attachment. So what we're seeking today is Council's endorsement of the list of projects for the LRAP to be submitted to the Queensland Reconstruction Authority.
Good. Thank you very much, Director. Over to Councillor Whiteman.
I'd just like to take the opportunity to thank the organisation for the work that's gone into this realignment, and I'd just like to note that this is one of the few times that federal, state and local government seems to be getting their act together and actually aligning themselves to make the funding and the projects clearer for what is available. I think it's a move forward.
Good. Thank you very much. Councillor Wilkins.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So just to clarify, so you've got the CHRC priority numbered 1 to 23. So so is that actual then the actual priority? So the first priority is number 1, or are they just all whatever is endorsed is then you know, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, through the chair. So the priority, so the Central Highlands Regional Council priority, which is the first column of the attachment, listed against each project, is how we've considered the priorities to be as an organisation, and seeking council's endorsement of that. This is a live document, so it can be changed at any time and come back to council with the option to rearrange or to include projects or to remove projects as we see fit, based on current environment or situation. So as it stands, this is the priority list that we're proposing in this order, but that can be changed at any time. Also noting that the funding requirements would match. So for instance, if the first round of funding that was available through either the state or federal government was around fire mitigation, then our first fire mitigation project is number 4, so it would be most likely to get the funding rather than priority project 1, 2 or 3. So it's just in terms of our priorities where we would like to see future funding, and then the state and us will work together to allocate the projects.
Great, thanks for that clarification. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Newman.
Through the chair, there's a huge body of work went behind deciding on these projects, and I think it's great to have a live list that can be adapted to the situation, and it's a remarkable opportunity when all levels of government are working together for a better result. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Newman. Councillor Cruz.
Through the chair, I also just want to acknowledge that you know, that you took on board the councillor's input, in particular, like raising up the Buckland airstrip in its priority. So I guess that is sort of recognising that the size of communities or a community doesn't correlate with the size of its risk, and basically council is recognising that. So thank you.
Yeah, very good. Thank you very, very much. And also to commend the QRA over the last few years of actually implementing these kinds of processes where they're encouraging councils to have these plans so that we're on the front foot should there be funding made available. We've got shovel-ready projects, or at least a list of projects that we can be advocating for, as you quite rightly say, depending on what the bucket of funding is. So, so well done, and thank you. Any other comments or questions? Back to Councillor Whiteman.
Possibly my only other comment is that it's important to note that this document goes through to state and federal government, and they can then mine these documents for data. It's a two-way street. We've shown what our highest priorities are, but I dare say that they would also influence the way that the state and federal government, as you say, maybe fire mitigation might be something that's common across all local government areas, and so that might be where they decide to put some money. So I think it's a really good program.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'll just read out the resolution. So that the Central Highlands Regional Council, 1, endorses the Central Highlands Regional Council Local Resilience Action Plan projects, and 2, delegates responsibility to the Chief Executive Officer for submitting the adopted Local Resilience Action Plan to the Queensland Reconstruction Authority. Again, as we have our mover and seconder, all those in favour? It's unanimous. So motion carried. Thank you. Thank you. Moving on now to the Section 12.4, Chief Executive Officer, and the first item there is 12.4.1, Central Highlands Development Corporation Board Appointments. So can I have a mover? Councillor Whiteman, and Councillor Newman, seconder. Thank you very much. And handing over now to Rhys Dennison, Director Corporate Services, to take us through the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning again, councillors. Purpose of this report is to replace the local government directors appointed to the board of the Central Highlands Development Corporation following the General Council meeting on the 23rd of March, where Council, as the sole member of Central Highlands Development Corporation, resolved to give notice of its intention to that company to remove the incumbent local government directors and replace them with new local government directors. I'll take the report as read, councillors, and hand over to you if there's any debate on the motion. Thank you, Chair.
Good. Thank you very much. Councillors, over to Councillor Whiteman first.
I'll reserve comment.
Okay, thank you very much. Councillors, do you have any comments? Councillor Hindmarsh.
Thank you. Through the Chair. I'd just like it noted that as these director appointments or changes to the CHDC are as of a result of motions passed at the March General Council meeting that I was not in favour of, I will be voting against this motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Any other comments or questions? Thank you, Councillor Whiteman. I think we're back over to you.
No, I have no further comment.
Good, thank you very much. So I'll attempt to read out the resolution. So the Central Highlands Regional Council resolves that 1, Council as the sole member of the Central Highlands Development Corporation Limited, ACN 078752048, the company, resolves in accordance with Section 203D of the Corporations Act 2021, Commonwealth, to remove the office of the following: Councillor Cruz as Local Government Director, Councillor Newman as Local Government Director, Councillor Cypher as Local Government Director, noting that former Councillor Cypher resigned as a councillor on the 23rd of March 2026, and Councillor Burns as Alternative Director. Number 2, Council, as the sole member of the company, votes in favour of passing the following member resolutions without a company general meeting pursuant to section 249B of the Corporations Act 2001, Commonwealth. 1, the member pursuant to clause 22 of the company's constitution appoints 1, Councillor Moriarty as Local Government Director, 2, Councillor Newman as Local Government Director, 3, Councillor Whiteman as Local Government Director, and B, the member pursuant to clause 26 of the company's constitution appoints Councillor Wilkins as Alternative Director, 1, to act in the place of all local government directors referred to in subparagraph 2A, and 2, for the period until the last local government director for whom the alternative director is appointed to act vacates office as director or otherwise in accordance with clause 27 of CHDC's constitution. 3, the Chief Executive Officer is authorised as Council's delegate under the Local Government Act 2009, Section 236, to record a record of the member resolutions without a company general meeting for the purpose of giving it to the company to record the resolution in the company's minute book. We have a mover and a seconder, so all those in favour? Recorded those in favour. Councillor Wilkins, Councillor Newman, Councillor Whiteman, Councillor Burns, Councillor Moriarty. Yep, that's right. And those against? So we have Councillor Hindmarsh, Councillor Cruz and Councillor Donaldson. Motion carried. Thank you. Right, moving on to item number 12.4.2, Central Highlands Development Corporation Economic Development. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Newman. And a seconder, please. Councillor Whiteman. And handing over now to Rhys Dennison, Director, Corporate Services, to lead us through this report. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Councillors, this report outlines key observations regarding the current economic development delivery model for the Central Highlands region, including the role and performance of CHDC. The recommendation before you, councillors, is that you receive the Comparative Economic Development Study final report dated March 2026, and that you authorise the Chief Executive Officer to negotiate and execute a new five-year service level agreement with CHDC. Councillors, I'll take the report as read, and it'll be over to councillors to debate the motion. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Over to Councillor Newman.
Through the Chair. Thank you. Having been privy to the comparative assessment of the economic development delivery models, I think that was quite a comprehensive report, and I am in support of this motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Councillor Wilkins.
Just if I may, just get some clarification. So with the new 5-year service level agreement, is that something that can be changed at any time or, after its development? Or is that something that's set in stone then for 5 years?
Yeah, thank you.
Through you, Madam Chair, I have to answer probably in a hypothetical, because it'll all depend, like any agreement, on what the terms of it are and how they're negotiated. So it would be very common, for example, for a commercial agreement to be amended by a mutual agreement between two parties, for example, but very much how this document would be drafted, if it were to be drafted, it would depend on its terms as to what could be agreed and changed and varied over time.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. Councillor Cruz.
Through the chair, I guess probably just wanted to address the 5-year the service level agreement in relation to this meeting today. We've already discussed other items that are creating economic stimulus within the region. This corporation was actually put in place to do just that for economic development. So I think a 5-year service level agreement offers continuity for that, and it also offers continuity for the organisation and the staff who continue to do an amazing job in promoting and driving our region forward with regards to economic development and tourism. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Councillor. Any other comments or questions? I'd just like to add, it was a really good exercise to do that benchmarking for CHDC, and just to compare how CHDC is operating compared to some other models in this state and beyond. It was really good and very beneficial. Yeah, it was a good report. So thank you. Over to Councillor Newman to close.
I reiterate, or I concur with some of the sentiments that Councillor Cruz stated. I think this service level agreement will give continuity to the 5 years moving forward, and certainty for the staff, and cement the economic and tourism development for the region. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much. Any other comments or questions, councillors? No, we've got Pete Dowling there, down the back there, so our CEO for Central Highlands Development Corporation. Thank you for joining us. Very good. Well, I'll read out the resolution. That Central Highlands Regional Council 1 receives the That Central Highlands Regional Council 1 receives the Comparative Economic Development Study, final report March 2026, prepared by Della. Delta. Oh, thank you very much. And 2, authorises the Chief Executive Officer to negotiate and execute a new 5-year service level agreement with Central Highlands Development Corporation. So, all those in favour? Unanimous. So, motion carried. Thank you very much. Thank you. Moving on to our next agenda item, which is item 12.4.3, Priority Projects and Advocacy Plan 2026-28. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Wilkins, seconded Councillor Burns. Sorry. Your hands pretty well went up at the same time, so sorry. Thank you very much. And we're handing over now to take us through the report, handing over to Bruce Mills, External Affairs and Advocacy Manager. Welcome, Bruce.
Thanks very much, Madam Mayor. Well, as you know, this report presents to Council the updated revised Central Highlands Regional Council Priority Projects and Advocacy Plan 2026-2028 for adoption. As you know, over the past couple of months, staff and the executive leadership team reviewed the existing plan against the programs master list and held a workshop with councillors on the 12th of February, which informally voted on the updated projects and priorities as presented here. I'll take the rest of the report as read, with the recommendation that Council adopt the new plan. Thank you, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Very good. Thank you very much, Bruce. Now, am I right in identifying that we have 13 projects in the identified?
Yes.
Yep, good.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Handing over now to Councillor Wilkins.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd just like to say that this is, there's a lot of these priority projects are across the region and not only diverse in that respect, but diverse in the different types of projects. So from like Lockley's landfill expansion to water security, road infrastructure, upgrades, beef corridors, washdown facilities, so it's just such a diverse lot of projects. And I think for me, it just goes to show, how much council is involved in this region. And so just so many different things. So it'd be great if all of them can be realised.
Very good. Thank you very much. Councillors, any other comments or questions? Councillor Newman.
Through the chair, the organisation is always advocating for multiple issues, and this is a comprehensive document that we can deliver to state and federal government on some of our key priorities for the region. I'd like to congratulate everyone who's put the workshop this, and I think it will be a great document in our future advocacy meetings. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Councillor Burns.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, I agree with my fellow councillors. It's an important document and it is very good. It's sad looking at some of the things on here that have been issues and problems for a long time now, like the Panama Creek upgrade and a few other things. So hopefully we get a bit more traction with this document and it simplifies it for people down in Brisbane and Canberra. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Cruz.
Through the chair, I guess it's also important to note that these aren't the only priorities that council has. There may have been priorities on there in the past that may not have found its way onto this particular document, but that by no way means that council has stopped advocating, because once they're a priority until they're realised, they should remain that way. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. And I think it's also important for people to note that while there are some projects that council's responsible for, we are advocating for things such as the upgrade of Panorama, Creek Crossing there, which is a state asset, also for things like childcare, aged care, dementia facilities and allied health services, so for our region. So it's not just about advocating for projects that council's responsible for, but also a whole range of identified gaps, I guess, that we would like to have a voice to the state and federal governments and other funders to help advance our region. So thank you very much. Thank you. If there's no further comments, back to Councillor Wilkins.
Thank you for saying that so eloquently, Madam Mayor. That's kind of like what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'll just read out the recommendation. That Central Highlands Regional Council adopts priority projects and advocacy plan 2026 to 2028. So all those in favour? Unanimous? So motion carried. Thank you very much. Thank you. We're moving into section 13, decision action reports, the closed session. But before we move into closed session, I become aware that we need to address that this item needs to be addressed as also a late item of business. I'm aware that this item of business was circulated on the 21st of April for consideration at this meeting and does not meet our 2-day time period of Council's standing orders. Therefore, I'm seeking a resolution that Council suspend its standing orders to permit consideration of business for agenda item 13.1, closed session. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Whiteman, seconder. Councillor Wilkins. All those in favour? You've got those names, Marnie? And those against? Thank you. Motion carried. Thank you very much. As previously noted, I declared a conflict of interest for this item, so I will be leaving the chamber. Oh, sorry, and hand over to the chair before I do. The Deputy Mayor, Councillor Karen Newman, to chair this item, please. Thank you.
A motion to, as item 13.1, employment matter, a motion to move into closed session. This report is confidential under section 254J 3A of the Local Government Regulation 2012, which permits the council meeting to be closed to the public to discuss employment matters in relation to the Chief Executive Officer. A, the appointment, discipline or dismissal of the Chief Executive Officer. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Whiteman, seconder. Councillor Burns. Can we have all in favour? Against? Motion carried. Thank you. Okay, we've come out of closed session. The resolution is... Now, we're going to have a vote on the resolution of 1, to approve the resignation of the Chief Executive Officer and the associated terms of separation contained in the deed of separation and release. 2, to also authorise the Mayor to execute the deed of separation and release on behalf of Council. 3, to appoint Mr Gary Stevenson as Acting Chief Executive Officer effective from 5 p.m. on Wednesday, 22nd April, until Monday, 18th May 2022, or until 26, or until otherwise resolved by Council. Number 4, to authorise the Mayor and Deputy Mayor, Councillor Karen Newman, to commence the recruitment process for an acting and/or permanent Chief Executive Officer, including authority to take all steps and sign all documents necessary to give effect to initiate that process. Can I have a mover? Councillor Whiteman, seconder. Councillor Wilkins. All those in favour? Against? Motion carried. So we get the Mayor back in the room?
Is that purpose?
Is that your? Yours? Sorry, I was just making sure. I think we're waiting for Councillor Whiteman, are we? Oh, okay, cool. Very good. Oh, I forgot my glass.
Mayor just said she forgot her glasses. She's going to get them.
Okay, thank you, councillors. Back to the agenda, and moving on to Section 14, information reports. So item number 14.1 for communities. So 14.1.1, record of proceedings, Central Highlands Central Highlands Arts and Cultural Advisory Committee planning meeting, 1st of April 2026. Can I have, councillors, can I have a mover, please? Councillor Wilkins, seconder? Councillor Burns, thank you. Handing over now to Lehigh Duncan, Manager, Culture, Arts and Regional Engagement, to take us through the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Moriarty. Through the Chair, afternoon councillors. As councillors are aware, the Central Highlands Arts and Cultural Advisory Committee, known as CHRC, is a council committee established to support council service delivery in the areas of arts, culture and heritage. The committee met on the 1st of April 2026 with the record of proceedings presented to you today. I'll take the report as read.
Thank you very much. Councillor Wilkins, thank you. I just didn't write down your name, so thank you.
Yeah, no worries. So it was a planning meeting. I think the main focus was on, so we're having the Art Attack event, which is our, increasingly bigger arts festival from 1st of July to 30th of September. So, we're certainly encouraging as many creative arts events as possible to be in that time. So I guess, it's great for tourism, so people can come up and have, many weeks of entertainment. And there is also, I would also encourage any art groups, whether visual or performance arts or whatever, to, contact the council if they're putting on any events so that we can have them on our calendar to, promote them and what's on in the region. Yeah. So as usual, it's a great committee to be in and lots of enthusiasm there. So thank you.
Very good, thank you. Councillors, any other comments or questions? I've got to say I always love reading the minutes from of these meetings, because it always amazes me, all of the amazing ideas that people come up with. So to bring life to our region, and it's really well done. So thank you to all our committee members and the staff for the hard work that you do in this space, especially our gallery openings and exhibitions as well. So thank you. We have no more questions or comments, councillors. Okay, I'll read the resolution. The resolution is that Central Highlands Regional Council receives a record of proceedings from the Central Highlands Arts and Cultural Advisory Committee meeting held on the 1st of April 2026. So we have a mover and seconder, so all those in favour? Unanimous, so motion carried. Thank you very much. I think that brings us to our final agenda item. You were lucky last, Manager. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We have no more reports under section 14. Section 15, information reports, closed session, nil reports. Section 16, nil reports. 17, nil notice of motion. Is there any general business, councillors? No? Okay, thank you. And any community acknowledgements, councillors? No? I did just want to pass on that we were deeply saddened by the tragic loss of Ian Burnett and his grandson Noah Williamson. This is an unimaginable loss for the Burnett and Williamson families, and our hearts are with them, their loved ones and friends during this incredibly difficult time. So on behalf of Central Highlands Regional Council and the broader community, we again extend our heartfelt thanks and deepest sympathies. Additionally, I just wanted to give a reminder that we do have Anzac Day happening on the 25th, which is Saturday. So we have a number of ceremonies across the region. So just look forward to, we know all the councillors are participating as much as possible. So we look forward to seeing everybody across the region to celebrate Anzac Day again, which is a very important special date in our calendars each year to remember those men and women that have served our country, and especially those that lost their lives defending our country as well. Councillor Wilkins.
Sorry, and just further to the Anzac, or the RSL Club really, just want to thank them for the unveiling of the Frontline Angels Avenue of Honour at Morton Park. It was a wonderful event, and what a beautiful tribute to the nurses from the region who served during various wars.
Thank you. Yes, it was a wonderful day, and again, thank you very much to Mari Reid, to Laurie Stanton, to Margaret Rawthorne, the Noel Mellion, the Emerald RSL sub-branch, to the Emerald District Historical Association, all the volunteers, and especially thank you to all our committed council staff as well to commemorate our avenue, to celebrate our frontline angels from our region, 12 nurses that served in the First World War. So thank you very much, Councillor Wilkins. Thank you. Okay, I think that brings us now to close of the meeting. So just to acknowledge that our meeting is closing at 12:56 p.m. Thank you. Thank you, councillors. Thank you, staff. Thank you.